Well, Beyond the Gates fans, it is quite the occasion. Happy birthday, Bill. This is probably your last one. Okay, well, we're talking episode 152. And let me just say real quick, while this channel is not my main channel, I wanted to bring this up anyway because I did in my trailer breakdown for next week's episode of Sisters over on Our Kind of Entertainment. But today, October 17th, marks the 8th anniversary, 8 years since I left my call center job to pursue YouTube full time. And I just wanted to do a quick thank you to everybody who supports me. Whether you only subscribe to this channel or maybe you only subscribe to my other channel, maybe you subscribe to both. But just know you are appreciated. I wouldn't be able to continue doing what I'm doing for a living for this long without your support. So just wanted to get that off the ground or start this episode by, mentioning that. And let's dive in, with Beyond the Gates. I got to give this a 10 out of 10. Another banger episode. It's currently 10:45 a.m. and I'm certain that today's episode is going to be good as well. Hayley has quite the birthday treat for her husband. So good that, it's to die for. And he mentions how he likes it when she spoils him. And she tells him, nothing makes me happier than seeing you get everything you deserve. The fact that we had just one episode that just changed the trajectory of this character is insane. Because now Hayley went from whiny and annoying to, oh crap, we better not take our eyes off her. So they kiss and she mentions how you're going to get a gift you'll never forget. So we go over to the possible parent, and Naomi is invited by Jacob to have a pampering day. Hey, let's go for a day at the spa. But she's like, oh, actually, my dad's having a birthday party. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll just reschedule then. And she mentions how nothing you do is going to change the pregnancy test, let me be. And basically she's all snippy at her husband. And you shouldn't have married a woman if you thought you could change her. And I don't need convincing. I'm not having this baby. I'm solid. And it's like, I know that. And I want you. So that's when she mentions that she resents Jacob for thinking she's wrong for knowing what she wants. And he says, I never said that. You baby. And then they both laugh, considering that little pet name now has a new meaning, considering she's pregnant. So despite the bickering, they have a moment of love and, professing their love. I mean, look, the moment of love with them fuzzy dang handcuffs is how they got in this predicament in the first place. And they declare pretty much what Patrick Star did in that Shanghai episode of SpongeBob. I believe we've reached an impasse. And she mentions how speaking with her mom didn't really inspire me to buy baby booty, so to speak. And Jacob feels like at this point, I don't know. It's like everything I do is wrong. Nothing I do is right by your standards. But Naomi loves what she does, aka her job. And he feels guilty. She feels guilty in asking to back off. So she heads out. Now, I'm going to make a comparison here. If you watch Tyler Perry's Zatima season 4, banger season, the best one yet. Courtney, who's been writing the season, is doing an amazing job. Side note, if you only know me for this channel, you are missing out. Go down to the description box. You'll see where it says, make sure you subscribe to my other channel, Our Kind of Entertainment. If you're a Tyler Perry fan, my Tyler Perry stuff is over there. I review every episode of Zatima. Go check it out. But more to the point of this show, Zach is in the same boat. Fatima is very pregnant. I'm talking like maybe month and a half before she pops. And he's doting on Fatima, but every morning she's snapping on him. Back off, Zach. Give me space. It's kind of the same thing here. So On the other side of town, we got a couple that's a bit more in the zone in terms of getting things back on track. Smitty calls someone about making it happen and disconnects as soon as his husband shows up. And he says he ordered a pad thai. Look, I'm not a person that dines on Chinese or Japanese food aside from egg rolls. So pad thai, is it pad thai? My sister knows it because she always eats that kind of stuff. So they kiss and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere." And Martin wants to watch his K-drama, but Smitty asked him to go pick up the food. Martin, was like, "Come on, I thought," but Smitty goes, "Hey, don't worry about it." Like, Smitty convinced him to go. Obviously, he's planning something. I wonder what this could be. So as he goes, Smitty explains that, okay, kids, I'm planning a surprise for your dad, which is why he sent him halfway across town for that food. And side note, when we go back over to Bill and Hayley, they have a moment where after they kiss and snuggle on the couch, Hayley wonders what Danny would have done, but Bill mentions to move on from that, and Hayley yet again brings up her insecurities, but Bill thinks Hayley's surprise will be memorable, more memorable than anything that could have happened, on his B-Day. And of course, this is a callback to Hayley catching them kissing, but not intruding on them in the office. So we switch over to Danny's house, and holy crap, her and Pamela look great. They came from Pilates. It took me forever to figure out how to say that word. I kept calling it pirates or pilots. My bad. So they drink some healthy shakes and talk about, things until a scream comes from upstairs. That's when they grab an umbrella and a baseball bat. And I'm just sitting here like, you gotta love it. The baseball bat, great callback to the first week of the show when Danny had the golf club in Bill's office. Yeah, I think it was the golf club. So Chelsea is screaming, and I'm talking like Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, that, "Mom, you've been robbed!" And she lists off various items that were purchased from around the world, but it turns out Danny sold it. And that's when Chelsea just can't believe what's happening. And here's the thing. Chelsea, she is one of my favorite actors on the show in terms of being expressive when the script allows her to be. So to actually have this moment where it's like, wait a minute, what is she screaming for now? Because the last time we heard screams was obviously Allison related. So to hear Chelsea scream, it's like, oh my gosh, like, what's happening this time? But it's like, oh no, baby, I sold that stuff. So that's when Andre comes in, and then Danny mentions like, oh, I'm the reason, for the sales. And it turns out, oh yeah, that's right. So they kiss. Pamela frets that, oh, that's indecent. And that's when Chelsea goes on to whine like Hayley would. So that's when she blames Andre for the loss of stuff and jogs off to get ready for a Bill's birthday party. So the women stare at Andre and ask him to model. Because remember, Danny and Pamela are still trying to get, models for their agency. He doesn't want to do it, but they find him so good looking. And that's when Pam goes and Pamela goes. And the couple continue to discuss the modeling gig, but he doesn't want to do it because he's more comfortable behind the camera. So she continues to pressure him, but he still doesn't want to do it. But the thing is, he shot the photos of the models. So yet again, fame can burn. And despite that, she continues to pressure him, and they go upstairs to put his stuff away, but wind up in bed because when you're in a bedroom with Danny Dupree, you're going to wind up in bed. But it would be an interesting plot point, a change of pace for Andre, because it's like, he could do it, but I don't know. I think maybe from his perspective, there's already the blogs and whatnot about former supermodel and photographer Andre hook up. They're married now. Andre might look at it from the perspective of, if I pursue modeling, it might be a situation where people will question my career because it's like, oh, did he only get with this cougar to get his own modeling career off the ground or stuff like that? So I can relate. Hey, personally speaking, give me money over fame any day of the week. Yes, there's notoriety that comes with fame. There's access that comes with fame. People know who you are, and that I don't want that. That's why I like living where I live at in the middle of the country. And yeah, I got a sizable YouTube channel, not this one, but my other one. But it's just like, no, I'd rather take the money and live in peace, because fame is a fickle thing. You know, especially in the day and age of social media, where 1 minute you're loved, but the moment your star rises a bit too high for people, they want to bring you down. Like, oh, they root for the underdog, but as soon as you get a little leg up, maybe you win a certain award, maybe you reach a certain tax bracket, or you sign a contract that's like 7 or 8 figures, that's when, oh, you know what, that person lost touch with where they came from or whatever. It's like, nah. And people will look for a reason to cancel you just for, nah, I'm good. Keep the fame. Keep the fame. So then we go over to the diner, and June talks to Samantha. Turns out that the boy who was supposed to study with her ghosted her, and maybe she's like not his type or something. The type who was down to smash. So that's when June thinks you should just move on, but that's when Samantha worries if she doesn't, she'll get a rep for being too uptight. But despite that not being ideal, she has some sort of way to change things around, an idea of sorts. But it's just one of those things where, yeah, focus on them books. Don't focus on these boys. Next, what? The guy ghosted you because what? You might not put out, but what about you putting out, getting knocked up, and the boy leaves you? Then what? Yeah, you're better off focusing on your studies. Now, June tells her about the time when she was younger. She took her brother's bike and flew off with it. She was afraid that she'd fall off, but you're unstoppable. Sam can't remember it. And it's just one of those little moments where when a parent sees their kid do something, and then when they get older, it's like, yeah, that kid's going to be okay. They're resilient. So that's when June goes to take care of her favorite detective. And she chats with Jacob, and he asks about, oh, so where's the children's biological father? And she mentions gone. So I wonder if that's a plot point for later on in the series. Now, she talks up what a good father he'd be, aka Naomi, and asks if he's given it any thought. And he's like, well, it's not in me and my wife's plans. And that's when June's like, oh, well, you know, I like happy accidents, like keep in mind my kids. And look at you and Naomi and the friendship you two brought me, because, you know, I'd still be under that underpass if it wasn't for you two. And that's when Jacob wishes his wife felt the same way. So then Martin shows up and picks up Samantha as Jacob apologizes for everything going on. And Martin says, oh, you were just doing your job. Well, technically not, because remember, it was a closed adoption, but whatever. Now, when you move past that, he goes and Jacob opens up to June about loving being locked in with Naomi, despite, you know, the children thing. Now, we go over to Bill's. He's wearing a crown, well, a party hat. But Chelsea turns up with his gift and birthday wishes. It's a wallet she made, and he loves it. I think that's pretty cool because, you know, hey, she's doing the whole fashion thing. You got a purse line. Why not make a wallet as well for your papa? So she credits him for helping make her dreams come true. Oh, yeah. Remember how that one company tried to file a lawsuit for infringement on Chelsea Cat, but Bill handled it? So that's when Hayley comes in. And just like the evil queen in disguise in Snow White, rather than a basket full of apples, poison apples, she comes in with a cupcake, with a candle. So he blows out the candle, but isn't interested in vegan, sugar-free cupcakes. And while Hayley goes to get the door, Bill switches cupcakes with a sugary one. And I'm like, I feel you. Look, health aside, it's my birthday. And I'll be dang if I'm going to eat some diet stuff. I'm going to eat what I want. What if it's your last birthday? What if it is? I'm going out the way I want. So, unbeknownst to Hayley, the special cupcake, well, it didn't go to the right person. And you would think she would give him a legit cupcake to ensure, ensure that's the one he ate. Now, that's when Naomi shows up with a certificate for her papa. Why do I keep saying papa? For her dad, so he can hang next to his law degree. And they kiss and, oh, thank you, baby. So then Chelsea acts like a child competing on whose gift is best. And as they bicker, that's when Hayley's like, children, don't bicker back and forth. And they look at her like, what the freak? And Hayley then talks about the first time she met Bill. And it was at Danny's with cupcakes. And Naomi and Danny loved him. So when Bill met her, he was entranced. And she snaps out of the daydream when Naomi accidentally eats the wrong cupcake by accident. She's grossed out. And then she mentions how Hayley's cupcakes were the only good thing about her, which I just died. That was funny. And she mentions how, oh no, let me get that because that cupcake was meant for your father. It's healthy. And that's when Chelsea actually defends Hayley for a change in terms of, Dad, you're supposed to watch what you're eating. So when they're in the kitchen, Chelsea can tell Naomi and Jacob have gone through it. And Chelsea calls her sister smart, driven, strong, and fair. And that's when Chelsea starts welling up with tears in her eyes. And that's when, her dad and Hayley come back with wine. Hayley makes a toast to her husband, calling today King Bill Day. Yet she's trying to take him out like Julius Caesar. And she hopes to be pregnant around this time next year, which upsets Naomi and she leaves. And Hayley makes everything about her, thinking that it's all her fault. But in actuality, there are multiple reasons why this woman could be crying, from the toxic cupcake to the emotions of being pregnant. Oh yeah, that's right. Her dad doesn't know. So Naomi actually goes to the hospital, and some people said this, and I agree. Ashley's at her best when she's a gal pal. Yeah. And Ashley's there, and that's when she tells Ashley, like, hey, I need to get a blood test because, yeah, we took an at-home pregnancy test, but I just want to make certain, I'm pregnant because right now me and Jacob aren't seeing eye to eye and I need my friend's help. So Ashley tells her that she's fierce and can handle whatever comes. And somebody online said it best by saying, Ashley said what Naomi needed to hear. Not someone to try to coerce her into changing her stance on having a baby, but just to tell her, like, look, you're going to get through this no matter what. Which, yeah, good stuff. And then the episode ends when Martin gets home with Samantha from the diner, and also after picking up the food, and the room has been cleared out, and Smitty gets on one knee and asks Martin to marry him again, and that's how the episode ends. So good stuff. And I wonder how this is going to end. Yeah, he's going to say yes, but like I said in a previous video, I will feel some kind of way if we see this wedding. This is like what, our third wedding in the show, but we couldn't have a proper memorial for Doug. Come on, writers. But yeah, this is getting good. Also, the women look great as always. Seriously, amazing. Hayley is like always look good, but now it's like, okay, now you really gotta pay attention to this heifer because she's trying to off King Bill. All right, so that's all I got for you. Again, thank you so much for 8 years and hopefully 8 more. I don't know where life is going to take me with this YouTube stuff, but hey, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.